when you are in your when you're in your creativity, when you see your creativity as a commodity, or when you're in your creativity and you're getting to the commodity where art, never a truer word is said, where art imitates life. And as you get to the perspective of your creativity being a commodity, and you see that part of that commodity where art replicates life, it needs to be everything, because the truth about life, there is freedom, there is restriction, there's limitation, there is emotion. And when you want to produce that in any story, you have to look at, see where is the emotion going to come in, where the tears going to come in, where is the laughter going to come in, how are you going to incorporate that, how are you going to incorporate the sex, are you going to be sensitive, lurid, natural, whichever genre or thing you want to put into it. All of these things come to play a part naturally, or whether produced, in you finding your economy. But really, for the creative who's really using themselves, rather than somebody like a producer deciding, I want to sit and write a story about somebody who explores energy through their diary and through themselves, rather than the person who is actually living like that in the therapy, living the therapy, living the need for the therapy, has been through the experience that makes the therapy emerge, and then that somehow becomes, through that process to progress, that then becomes part of a creative therapeutic commodity in which you hopefully find your economy. And by that is what I mean by that is really finding where you can make the money. So you first have to see what you have been through. You start having to fine tune that to be a commodity. Now that commodity might be writing songs, producing and performing. And that is where you start to find your economy, because people may want to sponsor you. Hopefully people come to see you. You may not be sponsored, you may be your own investor, but just by having that tenacity to go and busk, or to book yourself a hall and sell tickets, or try and go and find that artist that you could be the front, I don't know what they call it, the front act or the former act to. But at some point, when it's really your passion and intention, and you really know you need to heal by being free by the expression, you get out there and do something. And I say that because today it's early hours of the morning. I'm thankfully, through all I've been through, and through being wanting as an entrepreneur, and by that I mean being a serial entrepreneur, so not just having one business, having more than one, and finding more than one economy. I have consistently had to do that in one area of business, and fingers crossed I've got that ahead of me today. But it's the dark, stark, early hours of the morning. I'm eating brown bread and butter, even though I'm supposed to be on a diet, and flushing out everything and trying to lose this big ass belly. But and it just hits me because I'm in the point of frustration. I'm in that tipping point where I really want to get this done. I really want to be in this, but I have been so held back in a way by all I write about, by the whole restriction of knowing, being in something which is not completely of myself. It's not the intention and the journey pathway I wanted. And I've been in this valley of people, listening to people say, you know, you had to, and I say it myself, you had to have the belief there, you had to have the thought there, but just sometimes it can be a clash with somebody else. And from that place, you're still in a place of healing, you're still in a place of calling, because a calling is, yes, this has come upon you, and yes, you can definitely see there's not just your responsibility, but your calling is really getting your place, yourself and your perception, the expression of your perception and the perception of your expression, to the point of perception of the fact that this is now a commodity. And I am going to go and find the economy, which means I'm going to now go and find where I can sell it. And that is where your economy is. for you to make it. And I'm at that point where I haven't marketed. I haven't felt confident enough to market my work. You know, I've written off my face truly everything, and really been in the process because I've been healed by what I've done. But my biggest thing, which I really don't know about, is just marketing myself, and will people listen? Will people want this? I know, I kind of feel like I believe that people resonate with what I've done, because so much has changed. But I still have to find where that bowl is of my economy. I still haven't found my economy, I don't feel, because the creative side of me, even though may gain interest in sales through free promotion, where is that rent payment? Where is the progress to buy the bike that I may have always wanted, or to have the car, and just make things that much easier, just to do out the flat, and just to improve and get to the point where I can have, I have the retirement money there. Where is that point? I know, God willing, I pray, love willing, that I have time to actually make it, and don't leave this child with this discombobulated life that I've created so far, where nothing is together. Like the tin bucket is in the middle of the room, the Hoover hose is just here, the slippers are over there, tape measures on the floor. It's just a rack of ruin, it looks like, but yet everything's coming together. But in between making toast, I thought I will have this boast. I didn't rhyme with it. Anyway, this is true life. This is not fiction. This is just in frustration. Financial frustration, I might add.